We continue following a developing story in Roanoke. Graduation plans at the Berglund Center are still a go after a shooting left a teen boy hospitalized. Yesterday, 10 News was the first on the scene to bring you this breaking news. The shooting happened shortly before 2 while William Fleming High School was holding graduation practice. Police said 2 teens fought earlier in the day. Then the fight continued in the afternoon and ended in gunfire. According to the superintendent, graduation will go on as planned at 2 this afternoon with increased security. We'll address all the safety concerns surrounding graduation coverage continuing tonight at 5 right here on 10 News. Today's meeting between President Biden and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson will focus on climate change, security, trade, democracy, and travel. The two are expected to announce an agreement that includes a task force to quickly reopen travel to and from the UK. This all comes ahead of the G7 summit tomorrow, where the president hopes to strengthen ties with America's allies.
The United States is back, and democracies of the world are standing together.
Biden will also meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss election interference and cyber attacks. Good news for TikTok fans, it's not going anywhere. President Biden revoked Trump's executive orders targeting TikTok, WeChat, and other Chinese social media companies. However, Biden also signed an order that takes aim at apps linked to America's foreign adversaries, including China. The purpose of the new executive order is to guard Americans' personal data. The move shows the Biden administration has many of the same national security concerns the Trump administration had about apps. The wife of the man known as El Chapo, one of the world's most powerful drug lords, pled guilty to helping him run his Mexican cartel. She was arrested in February at Dulles Airport in Virginia near Washington, D.C. She was charged in federal court with helping her husband's drug empire import tons of cocaine, heroin, meth, and marijuana into the U.S. El Chapo was arrested by Mexican authorities and extradited to the U.S. for trial in 2017 after escaping twice from Mexican prisons. He was sentenced to life in prison. New at noon, a Danville man is now in jail following a string of robberies. 54-year-old Donzel Coles was arrested after police say he was wanted in connection to 2 robberies and an attempted 3rd robbery yesterday. A member of the Danville City Sheriff's Office was on his way to work yesterday when he recognized Coles walking down the street and took him into custody. He's currently being held without bond. Investigators say additional charges are pending. A bill to make the Pulse nightclub a nationally recognized memorial will now head to the president. The Senate passed the measure unanimously. In May, the House of Representatives passed the bill to honor the 49 lives taken in June 2016. The bill now heads to Biden to be signed.
Your local weather authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
And we'll start you out this afternoon with a live look at Virginia Tech, kind of a menacing look as we've got one downpour behind me moving to the right, and there you've got another one right on its tails. Very heavy rain in parts of Montgomery County. You see that up and down 460 as you head into Newport and just east of Pearisburg. This continues to move towards Simmonsville and just north of areas like Elliston. Now you still have some heavy rain up toward Paint Bank, and then as you go farther to the east around Big Island, where we've already seen quite a bit of rain, Montvale by the Peaks of Otter, and a strong shower or storm right now right around Appomattox. All of this you see moving very slowly to the east. Our last stop brings us close to Boone's Mill around Callaway, and that'll continue to move toward the north and east as well. And our storms are only going to expand in coverage. We'll see more developing throughout the afternoon and evening. So as we get ready to fire up the grill, you might be cooking dinner inside this evening. Temperatures mostly in the 70s heading through our Thursday evening. But here's Future Tracker showing things starting out at least hit or miss and then blossoming as we go through the rest of the afternoon with low pressure nearby. We've got that tropical moisture, and we've also got enough energy in the atmosphere to give us numerous showers and storms. Here comes tomorrow. We're looking at this front that's actually going to sag in from the north. So most of us should be dry after midnight. The exception to that could be areas like Rockbridge, Amherst, and Nelson counties after midnight. But around 8 a.m., maybe a stray shower, pop-up storms around lunchtime tomorrow. And just like today, things will really start to expand and become more numerous as that front teams up with our humidity. Could be some very heavy rain at times tomorrow afternoon and heading into tomorrow evening. As the front sags farther to the south, rain becomes lighter and more scattered by tomorrow night. So as far as the flood threat today, it's more localized as you head into areas in the yellow. So this is most of the NRV, the Roanoke Valley and Highlands, and areas from Lynchburg to the north. By tomorrow, all of us really stand the chance for localized flooding. As you see, we're all in this yellow shading in this outlook from the Weather Prediction Center. So another muggy one for us. Temperatures 65 to 70 degrees tonight into tomorrow morning. And then by tomorrow afternoon, similar temperatures to what we've got out there today, but a lot of moisture to work with as we top out in the upper 70s and lower 80s. So might want to keep things indoors as far as your weekend plans tomorrow afternoon and evening. But then by Saturday and Sunday, maybe a stray storm, so we'll give you the green light, at least for now, with temperatures kind of similar by Saturday. A lot of us in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Look toward the right-hand side of your screen. You see that nice warm-up for Sunday with temperatures mostly in the middle to perhaps upper 80s. Can't rule out a few showers and storms by then, but chances will start to come down because the jet stream will sag to the south. As it does so, we turn a little cooler by the middle of next week, but the big story heading into especially Tuesday is going to be this. Check it out. This weekend, even though we're looking at just some isolated showers and storms, will still be pretty muggy. But Monday and especially Tuesday, humidity levels start to come down. It'll actually feel a lot more comfortable out there as we head into the middle part of next week. Extended forecast showing that we're in the upper 70s and lower 80s for the next 3 days. Today and tomorrow, our showers and storms are more numerous. By the weekend, they're more hit and miss. In fact, Saturday afternoon, I think your best chance is going to be in the mountains. Sunday, we've got a front moving through that could just give us a few afternoon showers and storms. By Monday, 85 to 90, humidity levels will be at least tolerable, but they'll turn more comfortable by Tuesday and Wednesday, with high temperatures dropping from the middle 80s Tuesday to the upper 70s and lower 80s by next Wednesday. Jenna?
Thanks, Chris. In your 10 News Consumer Alert, the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell for the 6th straight week. The Labor Department reported today claims fell by 9,000 to 376,000. This comes after nearly 400,000 reported last week. Experts say the drop in numbers comes as the U.S. economy begins to reopen. More than $15 million going towards affordable housing across the Commonwealth. Today, Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner said the money will be used to help Virginians better access housing. More than $320,000 going to the Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority, while Lynchburg Redevelopment will get more than $148,000. Both senators approved the funding back in March. More Americans are flying since the pandemic began. However, experts say there are new challenges with staffing shortages at some of the nation's largest airports. Sam Brock explains why TSA says they need help.
At Miami International Airport, you're seeing signs of hustle and bustle behind me. It looks almost like it was before the pandemic, as so many people are coming out for the first time in 15 or 16 months, getting to the airport and just trying to figure out, where am I going in some cases? At Miami, they're at about 90% of the travel activity levels where we were before the pandemic. TSA nationally, those figures look more like 70%, but rising with more vaccines going into arms. Now, two things are happening simultaneously right now. One, there's an increase in demand from passengers, but also we're seeing reduced staffing levels. The Washington Post reporting that the TSA issued a memo warning that the 130 largest airports in the country could be looking at staffing shortages as soon as later this month. The agency right now doing what it can to hire more people. TSA tells NBC News they've hired around 3,100 new officers, security officers, as well as attempting to bring on a couple thousand more by the end of summer to reduce some of that congestion. To do that, they're converting some part-time employees to full-time employees and using incentives like $1,000 style signing bonuses to get people on board. But be warned, your experience at the airport right now is not going to be what you remembered from before the pandemic, starting with the concessions and the restaurants, some of those not being fully staffed, to the fact that security lines and check-in counters are going to be longer in some cases. Make sure you leave several hours of time just in case. In Miami, Sam Brock, NBC News.
Moderno wants to get the FDA's approval to get its vaccine approved for 12 to 17-year-olds. Data shows its vaccine was 100% effective in a trial involving more than 3,700 teens. Moderna said no major concerns were identified and the side effects were consistent with those seen in an earlier trial of adults. The vaccine's currently authorized for adults ages 18 and older. Before we leave you, check this out. Stargazers were treated to a pretty cool sight this morning. Just after sunrise, people across the eastern part of North America were treated to a partial solar eclipse. This comes after last month's lunar eclipse. It happens when the moon passes over the sun. The next annular solar eclipse will take place in October 2023, and you can see it in Central, South America and parts of the western U.S. We tried to see it here, but those pesky clouds were in the way. We did get some good sights over places like Chicago. Have a great afternoon. Be sure to join us for 10 News at 5 for 90 minutes of local news.